Today we are working on window adjustments, primarily for new weather stripping or if you've dismantled your car and are just trying to remember how it goes back together again. Let's get a little closer. Bolt here, and here are your window stops. If the window stops short of the roof rail, there's your problem. Here and here are your felt guides. If your window is sloppy, there's where to start. And these two bolts right here handle the tilt of your window. If you have a huge gap at the back of the window and not at the front, that is where you're going to want to adjust it, and vice versa. The most common problem is the felt guides. Heavy windows from people slamming the doors over time, they simply loosen up. I find these easiest to adjust with the windows up, and the door panel definitely has to come off. And you don't want them extremely tight, just tight enough that they're touching the window. Be careful hitting that window, because you will shatter it. After you adjust them, roll your window down, roll it back up, just to make sure you get the full range of motion. And there's always going to be some looseness to it. So you've done new weather stripping, and now you have this large gap at the top of the window. It probably won't be this large, but I've exaggerated it quite a bit just to make it easier to see. The problem is your glass stops. You have one in the front, one in the back. These are fairly simple to adjust. Adjusting the glass stops is fairly simple. You want your window crank on or your window switch plugged in. You simply loosen them. And you roll your window up. I use the weather stripping here as a guide. You'll notice now we have very little to no gap in the front and still a bit in the back. In that case, we just leave the front where it is, re-loosen the rear, and keep adjusting. Next is the forward and rearward tilt of the glass, handled by these two bolts here, connected to a track here, and connected to this arm here. I find these two easiest to adjust after the felt guides and the window stops. Just loosen the bolts, roll your window down, and then roll it back up. And it will come to a natural resting place. When you get there, tighten the two bolts, open and shut your door, and see if it needs any final adjustments. Hopefully after these few tips, it's given your new weather stripping a nice tight seal where you don't leak any air and or water. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just let us know in the comments. Thank you.